Hello, hello, and happy Monday. Oof, yet again, looking a little rough. 100% due to the food I've been eating. Hey, Adam, how's it going? So, yeah, I actually have. Speaking of food, it's been an interesting morning food wise. Because I have a piece of pizza sitting here next to me for um for lunch. I don't know if I should bother trying to fix this or if I should just let it go. I'll probably just let it go. It's just really distracting, and I've been watching these live streams back, and I'm like, ooh, when I look rough, it's rough to watch. So actually, hold on a sec. I know what I can do. Oop. No, I don't want that. Turn off my phone and be here with you guys. So, started my day with some light yogurt with 12 grams of protein and some shredded wheat. Hello, Roland Holland. Yes, indeed. New week, new opportunities. 100%. I am with you. Let's get that bag. The cheddar. So I did wash my hands. Started the day with yogurt and shredded wheat. Then I had some cut up bell pepper, very healthy because I did a grocery shop yesterday, so I'm prepped for the week ahead with healthy food. And then I dove into half a bag of Doritos and finished those right off. So, and then now I'm eating pizza. So it's been a mixed bag food-wise. Hello, Andy DeVirgo. Excellent. Hi, I've been subbed for a while now, and I appreciate your content. I believe I first found you through Misbehave. Interesting. Why does that sound familiar? Misbehave. I don't know. There are a lot of misses out there, but cool. I'm glad you found me through her. You got yourself out of 20K in debt by working your ass off. Excellent. Congratulations, Andy. So happy that you are here with us today. So that is an interesting topic. Part of the topic. So I'm not going to eat. This is a pizza I have beside me. I'm like, it's a couple days old. I think it's from like Thursday. And I was surprised that it heated up really well. I think this is probably the last time it'll heat up well. I'll just put that aside because I ate half a bag of Doritos and I'm not really hungry right now. So the topic for today is setting goals. And Biden's no interesting in the past 2 years. Oh, thank you, Andy. You're awesome, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate that and the encouragement. It's a big help to me on my own journey here. So the topic for today, kind of from last week and in general, is on setting goals. Because for me, I did 5 goals 5 years ago. And like my 5-year plan, and that just was up I came upon the 5th year of my 5-year plan this year, and I use March as kind of a resetting month for me because my birthday's in October and March is just about halfway. So I was looking over my 5-year, what I've accomplished in the past 5 years, because that was the first time that I really held myself accountable for 5-year goals. And I'm in the process now of setting my next 5-year goals, because while I only accomplished 2 of the 5 goals, it was a great exercise, and it's something that I do want to continue. Because if you don't have a target, what's the saying? If you don't have a target, you hit it every time, which is very true. So I am in the process of setting goals, and we were kind of doing this as a group on Friday. So if you guys have any goals, let me know what your 5-year goals are. Or I know Anthony, mine was in his sort of 15-year goal. He was in the 12th year of a 15-year plan, which is awesome. But here were my 5-year goals from 2017 to 2022. 34 to 39. That's how old I am. So my 5 goals from 2017 to 2022 were to buy a house, to help sell my mom's house, to be and stay debt-free, to have location independent work, and to, quote, buy a Subaru or get married and start a family. So of those 5 goals, I've only accomplished the last 2. And while it's not everything I had planned, it's for me, that's fine. And I feel satisfied with that because those 2 were a little bit less depends getting married and starting a family was certainly not something I had direct control over. Sure, I could do the work to make myself the person that I wanted to be in order to cultivate the relationships that I wanted to have, and that was the greatest work that I did. And I would have said if that was the most important one. So, as I think about the next 5 years and setting goals, I'm thinking, "Okay, what types of goals do I wanna have for the next 5 years?" So 5 for 5. And I actually love the idea of doing a 15-year plan as well. Still working on that, but these were the goals I came up with on Friday, and I did not like them as much. They weren't exciting to me, so I'm like, "Let me examine that." Because if I'm not excited about them now, there's very little chance that I'll achieve them in 5 years. So here were the goals that I came up with, and they were underline it, I have my little, like, notes here. Still married, and I'd like kids. We'd both like kids. Physically fit and healthy with a BMI between 19 and 21. Own my own home, be and stay consumer debt free, and then $100,000 in the bank or savings. And the thing about those goals is they're fairly average, right? There's nothing unique or reaching about them. Yes, there's nothing you should take for granted about them. And to achieve them, that is awesome. And again, no one should take those goals and achieving them for granted. But to me, they're just not exciting and they don't really feel like anything spectacular. So again, if I'm not excited about them now, there's little chance that I'm going to achieve them in the next 5 years. So what I did was the dream day exercise. So kind of charting through what I would like my ideal day to look like. And this is a very common exercise. I've done it several times throughout my year. Sorry, I slept really weird and I like woke up. I slept deeply and I woke up with a crick, a knot in my neck. So I'm like holding my head this way, but I'm very conscious about that. So just now I did this dream day exercise. What type of a day would I like? And I'm glad that I did it, but it's still not really exciting. I could go much more into detail on it, and then there are different sort of variations on it, right? There's your dream day for your everyday. There's like a vacation thing. Yay, Sandra Torado, hello! I'm glad you caught me live too. Exciting. So we're talking about goals and setting goals for the next 5 years or however long you want to set them. So again, if you guys have goals, let me know what your goals are and if they're exciting to you. So I did this dream day exercise, and this is kind of what I came up with. And this is just like a normal kind of day in the life. So I'd wake up in a big, comfortable bed next to my husband with light streaming into the room, windows everywhere. I wake up naturally at 6 a.m. and I just can't wait to get out of bed, which I naturally wake up at 6 a.m. now. And sleeping just feels so much better. I enjoy my life and I could wake up at 6 a.m. Just don't. Our bedroom is spacious and luxurious with cathedral ceilings. The thing is, we had been looking at some new builds recently that are just gorgeous and really exciting. And we saw one recently that was everything I had dreamed of. The lot, it was on a smaller lot. It was only a half-acre lot, which is bigger than most new builds, but smaller for what I wanted. Ideally, I'd have like 2 to 4 acres. And all the houses that we had been looking at prior to that were older houses in kind of a more stately area of town that had that 2 to 4 acres, but were built like turn of the century and needed a lot of work, a lot of work. So, excuse me, it was interesting to see, excuse me, to compare that. And I'm glad that we went that way, seeing older houses first and then looking at newer houses. So my dream day is actually based on the new build that we saw. So our bedroom is spacious and luxurious. Matt's gambling slots. Yay! Thanks for sharing your goals. I'm glad to finally catch you live. Despite me not doing fire, I always like listening to how people like yourself manage your money and set financial goals. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's true. And I realized that actually, Matt, that's interesting. Going back to how people kind of like me, I'm guessing you I don't know if you mean under earner or just regular old Joes. But yeah, that's why I started this channel, is to kind of be a resource for people. Roland Holland, do some items not feel exciting yet because the path isn't super clear or detailed, like the financial part? Maybe. I think, I don't know, maybe I just feel like they're not exciting because, yeah, I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I think that them not being detailed is certainly part of it. I think if I put more thought into the detail, it might feel a little bit more exciting. So, going back to the dream day, and actually the dream day actually feels more exciting because I base that dream day on this house, which at this point is my dream for this point, because it's attainable. It's somewhere 4 bathroom, like 4 bedroom. There were like 5 bathrooms in an in-law suite. It was gorgeous. It was expensive, but it was gorgeous and not out of the realm of possibility. It was pricey, but it was just gorgeous. So now that I see the, I guess, possibility, it is more exciting. So maybe, so I walk downstairs, make tea or coffee, maybe take the coffee outside. I do my meditation and my gratitude for my morning routine. If we had dogs, I'd let them out in the backyard and let them run around. I'd run around with them, come back inside and work out. That's very important actually, to have like a dedicated workout space. Come inside, get their kids, get the kids ready and out the door. Then my husband would work and I would work, and I'd come home. And that part is kind of open to interpretation on the type of work that I'd be doing and where just the type of work that I'd be doing. Would I be maybe driving around? I don't know yet. So that's open. Maybe we plan for a trip in the process. But that's just a normal day. And the kids would come home, we do homework, snacks, activities, and it's really important to me that, we both have time to spend with kids, because something really important for him was to be able to, he just wants to throw a ball around in the backyard, and I'm like, I want you to have enough energy to throw that ball around in the backyard." So that's important, and I include that he's out there and he's, like, playing with them and able to interact with them. Then we'd make dinner, then kids would be in bed, and then, we'd connect over TV, movie, a game like we do now. Like, that's something that I want to carry over into my dream life that's happening right now. So I really look for things that are part of my dream that are happening now, and then carry that forward, which does make it feel exciting and achievable. Yay! Hello, new frame of mind. I was just talking about you, Anthony, and your 15-year plan. What year are you in that 15-year plan? Because that's very exciting. I was actually thinking about doing a 15-year plan too. Roland Holland, I only asked because my wife wasn't on board with real estate investing or financial independence until I showed her it actually is attainable. And we talked about math and strategies, et cetera, the potential details of my plan. Yes, yes. So for sure, how it's attainable. Yeah, and again, that's sort of the benefit of you guys being young, is really neat because you can kind of build your lives together. At this point, we have assets that would take longer and make the potential path to financial independence a little bit more challenging. Not impossible, but it would be something that he would have to make more sacrifices to get to financial independence. But I fully agree that more detail sometimes helps. Jesus, do you think that community college should be free? I feel like it's a waste of investment going to school only then to not have the ability for higher education, whether college degrees or technical. Sure, technical training for free. Yeah, sure. I think they should be free. Do I think that that means that taxes should go up 20%? I don't know. It's a good question. Andy DeFergo, I'm on a 3-year plan to save up enough money to buy a home for my parents. I'm 35, and once I fulfill that plan, I can move on and not worry about them as much. I hear you. That is very admirable and very cool. So I applaud you for that, Andy. You promised them one, currently at 15.7K saved. That's awesome. It's very cool, and a really, really admirable plan, Andy. Anthony, frame of mind. 17 more 1.75 more years to go. You're 14 now. That is amazing. I am actually thinking about doing it. I'm seriously planning to do a 15-year plan. That would be 55 for me. It's a lot. It's going. Andy, yes, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's an exciting goal, Andy. Actually, a really exciting goal. So what is this? Oh, guys, it's my sister calling. I kind of want to talk to her. She would not want to be on this live stream though. Ah, I don't want to kind of pause. Yes, I owe them the world. Yes, Andy, absolutely. I feel the same way. Actually, my mom's house is almost paid off, which is exciting. You guys, I wish I could pause this and come back to it. Yeah. No, you guys are my first priority. I'll call her back later. So what's happening is she's just driving to work. She gives me a call on the way to work. And I haven't talked to her in a while. So actually on the topic of parents, I spent yesterday was Sunday and I went to go hang out with my mom. Because I hadn't seen her in like a week and a half and we used to live together. We kind of still do live together. As in my stuff is in her house. It's kind of my story. And I hadn't seen her for a week and a half, so it was a long time, and it felt really good to connect with her because she feels like she's kind of living the empty nester life because both my sister and I are gone and married, which I'm like, thank the good Lord God Almighty. But she's a little bit lonely, and she's like, oh yeah, it's just what I'm doing, and I'm trying to feel it and not run away from it. I'm like, she's so good. So yesterday we just went exploring. We drove to a new area, went to Costco, which is a terrible idea on a Sunday. It's awful. So we went to Costco, we hung out, we got our nails done, just kind of girly things, and did some just eye shopping with your eyes. And then we went to lunch at Bahama Breeze and just kind of hung out together. It was great. So her house is almost paid off, and the thing with that is, and I've kind of gone over this a lot, while it is a big house, it's like 23 square feet on a third of an acre. It's a lot of house for one person to keep up. It's 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom, and she doesn't need that much space. However, it's in a lovely area and it's almost impossible. We have yet to find in the same area a space that is as nice for less money. So she would end up paying more to get less space and like a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom that's not as well kept. Like if she were to move into like a condo or like an over 55 or something like that, it would not be as nice as what she has now. So like they were all built around like the 90s and our house was the 60s, but it's still like she'd have 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom and be sharing walls and fighting for a parking space. It wouldn't be, she wouldn't have a garage. It just wouldn't be better. So in her area, which is extremely high cost of living. So we're kind of mulling that over and deciding what we want to do. What she wants to do as far as that's concerned. It's a lot. Anyway, but the house is almost paid off, which is good. Yeah. Andy DeVirgo, to quote 50 Cent, you were a window shopper. I was a window shopper, yes. Matt's gambling slots. I may be playing slots here and there, but while still being able, at least I have a budget to play what I can lose and still be able to save and invest to enhance my net worth. Yep, that's great. Sandra Torado Nesters, not sure how long we're in the chapter, not sure what to dream or plan, kind of stuck. It's true. And that's where she is. And I feel really, I feel for her because I know that if I had a clear idea of what I was gonna do, then she would be able to better plan. Jesus, what if she builds a second, smaller home? Third of an acre is a good sized chunk of land. It's honestly, it's kind of not. I mean, it is. I'm thinking of our backyard, and what's happened is that we have all these like tree roots growing up out of the ground, which is not good. Like, all right. She could. And something we've talked about that I don't want to do, but wouldn't be a terrible option, is potentially moving out there. Here in California, most homes are built on a seventh of an acre. I know. California's got a huge premium on land, and that's, I would say, the only place more expensive than the New York metro area is California. So, or they kind of Manhattan is the most expensive. I haven't actually looked it up lately. I'll have to confirm. But it's very expensive, very pricey. So that's kind of where she is, and we've talked about that. I don't wanna do that, because that's a house I grew up in, and not that I have bad memories, it's just it would make me feel like I'm stuck beyond stuck, like I'm going backwards in life. I mean, granted, I would be moving in married with a husband, but still, I'm like, yuck. It is in a great school district, which is positive, but it's already in the family, so that's positive. I don't know, I don't wanna do it. I just don't. But that's a consideration, in which case she would wanna go downstairs and we'd stay upstairs, and I'm like, "Maybe. That may be the most economical thing that we do." Not my preference, but we'll see. So, on the topic of goals, ugh, and I guess I'm kind of getting, I don't wanna say weighed down, but bogged down by things that I can't control, rather than focusing on what I can control, and that's 100% been the one thing that's helped me through, is to focus on what I can control. I can control myself and I can control what I do. So that's very powerful, and that's the most powerful tool I have in my arsenal right now, is being able to control myself. So it's very interesting. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, huh, I could make a list. Let me get a new pen for that. Make a list of all the things that I can't control, and then make a list of all the things I can control. So the topic, yeah, it's hard not to get bogged down by things you can't control. It's really true. This is like I'm planning with you guys in real time. So can't control. Control. And I'll only keep this up for another 9 minutes, you guys. Can't control and can control. So, on the topic actually of budgeting and being realistic, um, I'm part of a smaller mastermind, of other financial YouTubers, and a bunch of us are in similar situations where we are not necessarily, and let me speak for myself, I'm not making the best choices with my money at present. I'm making a budget, I'm just not sticking to it. And again, I've made some not great, financial choices lately that I don't regret, but were not great and were not advised. So, because this is a personal finance channel and the goal is to be, I don't say motivating, inspiring, I haven't been sharing a whole lot of that. Not that I ever really shared a lot of my budget at all, but that's kind of making me, like, fish around for content ideas. I'm fishing around anyway for content. I still put up a video every week, but I'm sort of trying to figure out what to share, and it feels a little bit hypocritical is the wrong word, but it feels a little bit challenging to say, um, that I'm not doing what I should be, which I'm like, it's just it is what it is. Anthony, creating year's plan, you also need to create metrics to monitor progress. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Actually, which is an interesting point. So let me dig out my planner here. So I dropped my stickers. This is something this is going to be my first sort of exercise. So what I had been doing was tracking my, no, let me get to, let me get to where I actually did it here. So, no, not there. So I have been tracking my checking account balances, my bank account balances on this side of the planner. And I had stopped doing that just because I didn't want to look at it. And I'm thinking, let me just try this for a week, because I'm big on trying experiments, right? So for this week, let me try the experiment where every single day I log into my personal checking and savings accounts and then my business checking and savings accounts. And let me just track them. and see how that affects my week. If I track them every single day for a week, just track every day for a week and see what happens. So that's going to be my week experiment. Actually, I'm going to put that under business. Yes. So that is something I'm going to do. And I actually got the idea because I've been listening to a podcast, a Michael Lewis podcast. He wrote Flash Boys and a bunch of other really good books. And he has a podcast called Against the Rules. And he was interviewing one woman who said that she was just afraid to check her bank account balance. And she hadn't for many years. And I was like, I know that feeling. And I'm going to see, this is my experiment. If I just check the balance and just keep track of it, what effect will that have? A, on my spending, and B, on the actual bank account balance. Because what I'll do is I'll check one day and then I won't look again for the rest of the week. So that's an experiment that I'm going to try this week as far as measuring metrics go. Anthony, for me, coming up with the metrics is fine, but it's actually checking in and actually being accountable and using them that is the big challenge. Jesus, you remember the time when you felt most control and satisfaction in your life was when you dedicated yourself to exercise. Yep. You would jog 5 miles in the morning and evening while eating healthy. 80% of my plate consisted of vegetables. Yep. 100%. And that's why for me, getting back to the gym and going to the gym is a big start. Again, I vacillate wildly between healthy eating, bell peppers, and then half a bag of Doritos. I mean, I'm like, okay. So I 100% agree with you. I know I feel the most positive and in control when I'm eating healthy. Roland Holland, have you seen anything from the Bigger Pockets YouTube channel? Yeah. They have really good interviews, strategy videos, etc., mostly around business and investing. Yes, around real estate business and investing, and the whole Burr strategy. I guess that was really frustrating to me, Roland. I used to listen to them religiously, and what got frustrating was I'm like, not that I'm barely making ends meet, but I don't have anything extra at this point to invest. And what's really challenging is that I don't see a way right now to any margin to build up anything. And I know that this is simply a phase that I'm going through, and it's not gonna be forever, but it's really kind of frustrating to feel that way, and so I stopped listening to them because I just feel like for me at this point, real estate is like going to the moon, which, hey, people do it. But for me at this point with my cost of living where it is, I can't see any way to get started in that type of thing. Again, things change all the time, but it's just really, yeah, Dorito stuffed bell pepper. Exactly. Yes, Jesus, exactly. Yes. And then pizza. I'm like, oof. I have some broccoli and some asparagus, and I'm making steak for dinner though, so that's gonna be my healthy dinner. I'm trying to get my breakfast and my dinner healthy, and I feel like that's a good way to start. I don't know. I'm trying here, baby steps. So I guess if there's one thing that I'm looking for, actively looking for, and kind of asking my subconscious, my God conscious, my higher power to help me be attuned for is ways to gain some margin in cost of living because it's not in a good place right now. Our costs are very high. That's it. They're just very high. So that's where I am, and I'm gonna try again. You guys reminded me of this goal to start tracking. So check back, watch the space. I'm gonna check in probably on Friday with y'all, and I aim to have 5 days of tracking filled in. Actually, I'll fill in what we need to start, and then I'll just put in the numbers next to them. So something else that I did yesterday or over the weekend was I finished my taxes, which was exciting. Positive, I got a chunky refund. Negative, because I reported such losses in my business, I'm going to be on the radar to file quarterly taxes, which I should be doing anyway. And I got that like warning saying, hey, you're filing a loss. After several years of filing a loss, the government may consider your business a hobby instead of a business. You should really try to earn more profit. I'm like, thanks. Yes, really try. Like, I'll do that. I'll really try to earn money. Okay. All right, guys. So we're coming up on the end of 30 minutes, and I'm going to end this out. I mean, goals we could talk about all week. I got some more exciting stuff on tap for you. Two things. Number one, I'd like to start looking at the 22 immutable laws of power. I'm also wondering if anyone else is familiar um, with the side of my head. Oh, the Kekich credos. So like 78 sayings about life and business. And I come back to those pretty routinely, and they're very, very helpful. So reviewing those. And then Ray Dalio, the head of the Bridgewater investment firm, has, I mean, several books, but Principles is one of my favorite. And I'd love to start kind of talking about that. So those are a couple things. High cost of living. Hey, email me so we can chat. You email me. fullbehavedwallet@gmail.com. We lived in a high cost of living area outside of DC, making less than average income. There are ways that aren't so cut and dry as buy an apartment building. Sure. Yeah, there are ways. There are for sure ways. I think for me, it would probably be REITs at this point, just because I cannot see myself either now or in the next 5 years having the time or bandwidth to invest in physical real estate. That may change, but for now, that's just where I am. Yeah, you don't have to be Grant Cardone. There's only one Grant Cardone. Matt's trial and error. That's all part of business. Very, very, very true. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap this up, and then tune in tomorrow for more about goals. And I don't know, we might start Kekich, or the laws of power. We'll see. Do I rent at the moment? No, Andy. My husband owns his condo here, owns his co-op in Manhattan on the Upper West Side, so I'm living with him. And my mom owns her house in the northeastern New Jersey metro area. So we don't rent, and which makes it more difficult because he's locked into this place and my mom is locked into her place too. So we have equity, which is good. Yeah, Anthony, that's why I'm done before properties. I have real estate and stocks. Yes, exactly, and REITs portfolio. Exactly. Yep, that's the goal. That's exactly, Anthony. That's my goal too. So that's for me. That feels a lot more attainable. Alrighty, guys. I will catch you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.